Hi, welcome to another edition of Ham Radio Today. My name is Bill Needham, and my call is K1 Whiskey November. And my co-host in the studio with me today, Pi.
Hi, I'm Pi, K1RV.
Well, we got that straight, huh?
Yeah,
okay.
this time anyways.
They don't have to put up any more silly graphics, those guys in there. Well, I'd like to talk about Field Day this past week down at the Watson Library. Matter of fact, we got quite a write-up in the newspaper from the American Radio Relay League. And there's over 700,000 hams in the United States, and I think Canada's involved in that, isn't it?
Well, there's probably another 100,000 up there.
Okay, so 800,000,
yeah.
And there's 2.5 million hams worldwide. And the article that I was reading in the Ledger, the Braintree Forum, which always gives us good press, was about what Field Day is actually about, besides everybody getting together and have a good time. So you've been in Field Day a lot longer than I have, Pi, so we'll shoot it over to K1RV, okay?
Okay.
Pick it up.
Okay. Well, I've personally been involved in Field Day since, I think, 1962. But it's been going on, I think the first one may have been in the 1940s sometime, late 1940s, might have been the very first Field Day. But it's an exercise in where hams will set up and try to operate under emergency conditions. The idea being that they can demonstrate their capabilities in the event of an emergency, set up antennas, transmitters, lodging, tents and things like that. So the operation that we did at the Watson was a little bit different because we were involved with the Braintree Emergency Management, and as part of our participation with them, we were able to be part of their Emergency Operations Center, which gave us the ability to operate indoors in that category. But having said that, most of the people that we did talk with, there were some emergency operations centers that were operational around the country and Canada, but for the most part, they were all people out in the field, set up, setting 5 or 6 or 7 transmitters up in a field, and tents and towers and everything else, and it's a pretty exciting time for 24 hours.
Yeah, and it was comfortable this year. Like you said, in the past we were hooked up this year with Braintree Emergency Management also. But in the past couple of years, we were up at Sunset Lake,
right,
which was good, and we were operating up there off their generators also. Mm-hmm. And but like you said, I think the whole focus of this exercise is to see how quick, in case of an emergency, just like in 9/11, when unfortunately when that tragedy happened, the only communications out of there was ham radio. All other communications, police, fire, all public safety, most of the TV stations, radio stations are all in the towers because of their location and their height, and they were knocked out. And it was the responding hams from New Jersey, Connecticut, surrounding, well, a lot farther back than that, but right at the very beginning, the first communications out of that site to local public safety was amateur radio.
Well, the hams have established quite an infrastructure of their own, which some of it is totally independent of some of the other systems, so that enabled them to be able to just step right in and provide communications like that. And that's kind of what Field Day is about, to be able to sharpen people's skills, make sure that, hey, we can, this is what we need to do. We got to do a little work ahead of time to make sure that we have this stuff available. And then during that 24-hour period, it's not essentially a contest, but during that 24-hour period, you try to see how many other stations you can contact around the country. Actually, around the world. We did work a few European stations during this too, but basically you try to contact as many of the other Field Day stations as you can.
Which we did, and we were doing it on phone and also on CW, which we got some DVD that we did down there that we'll show in a few minutes. But getting back to it, we also BEMA supplied us with the emergency power,
right,
with the generator,
right,
that we also ran to make sure that everything down there worked well. And we're speaking just between our group of getting a hold of the town, and when they see if we can't get a transfer switch down there in the event of an emergency, where if they lose all the power, which hopefully we won't with this brand new power station that's actually online here in Braintree. We're pretty fortunate in Braintree. So they got the new power station online, but if we could get a transfer switch put in down there, I think it'd make a lot of sense. And in case the beam ever actually gets knocked out of their operation at Town Hall in case of an emergency. And I've worked over there with BEMA in hurricanes and stuff, which it wasn't a field day exercise, but certainly wasn't that far removed. But getting back to field day, which sometimes I drift off, I think it's age, but getting back to field day, the antennas, people have to realize this starts from scratch. Nothing is up and running. There's no antennas up in the sky or any wires hooked up to radios or anything else. It starts at a certain time, and which we did, and we put up the antennas, and it went smooth from 6 meters through 75 and 80. Right, everything went very well. And
a lot of the stations out in the field now, if people would like to look and read a little bit more about what field day is, they could just go to the ARRL website, arrl.org, and just do a little search under field day, and there's a page that'll come up, and it'll show them a lot of the information that we're talking about here, and some of the info packs that they have. But out in the field, now many times for many years in this local area, our group, we used to participate down at the Wampatuck State Park, which is about 10 miles from here. And we'd just pull into the field, and we'd have the lawnmowers out and everything else. We'd mow the field, and then we'd start setting up towers, and a little city would evolve. I guess that's the best way to describe it. A city would evolve over that 24-hour period, and tents and everything else, and then by Sunday afternoon, the middle of Sunday afternoon, everything was gone.
Eddie Enders, W1PD, and myself went down there. I think I have it on VHS, and we went down, and there we also went down to the Whitman Club. They had one down in that area. But we went down, and I was amazed. I came in at the beginning, and when I seen you guys and Tony, WA1ENO, with his truck, the antennas on the ground, and when I say antennas, we're talking some large antennas here. I mean, a lot of metal, and to see how it was put up, and I was amazed. And we actually got footage. If I can find it, it'll be great. How quick you guys worked. I mean, you were doing it for years too. You were doing it for years, but
well, it was an evolutionary process. We're doing it the hard way in the beginning, and even using ladders to put the antennas up and things like that. And then after a while, it got to the point that you got to see it, and it was pretty slick.
Even if you just took it and then just made segments of it, just to see all of a sudden it's down and then it's up and the antenna's up on it, and then the final would be if Tony had to shimmy up the pole, which, what was it, 30 or 40 feet?
Yes. Well, either 40, probably 40 feet.
Yeah, shimmy up the pole to make any last-minute adjustments. Everybody's just shaking their head with absolutely no problem at all. But anyways, that's.
We do have some video of that. I have some K1VV video of that.
Fantastic.
Yeah, we'll get you that.
Oh, yeah. It's too bad we couldn't get him up here.
I know.
Yeah, it's maybe we're going to have to send a limousine down to Lakeville.
Is that in the budget?
Well, we can work on it. We can work on it. But anyways, we do have some field day stuff that I think we can bring up and show to the viewers that was taken this past week down to the Watson Library. So yeah, we can start running it now. I see it's up there, and we'll take a peek at it. So here it is, Watson Library last weekend.
CQ Field Day, CQ Field Day, Whiskey 1 Papa Delta, Whiskey 1 Papa Delta Field Day. CQ Field Day, CQ Field Day, Whiskey 1 Papa Delta, Whiskey 1 Papa Delta Field Day.
Kilo Bravo 3 Lima Victor X-Ray.
Kilo Bravo 3 Lima Victor X-Ray, good morning. Copy 2 Foxtrot Echo Mike Alpha.
QSL, this is 2 Foxtrot Echo Mike Alpha. You are 2 Delta Maryland DC. 2 Delta Maryland DC.
Okay, thank you very much. QSL, you might check the log. It looks like that might be a duplicate contact, but we do have you in the log here. 73 and